call Craig Foss.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I was enjoying the previous member's speech until he got onto the monetary policy stuff. And I'll just note that, Mr Speaker, I was on Finance and Expenditure, part of the minorities numbers on that committee last year, who looked at we did a review of monetary policy, various instruments initiated by the previous Finance Minister, Honourable Dr Michael Cullen, and we did examine all sorts of various options under tools in the toolbox for the RB, etc. And I think that committee, that review went on for about 5 or 6 months, actually, and I think it was virtually unanimous, total consensus, I think, other than a small minority report from New Zealand First, who are no longer there, that actually the status quo was working and it had gone through the various cycles, fiscal cycles, economic cycles. But, you know, I guess it's an election and you move to opposition and they're looking for something to talk about, perhaps, but actually the uncertainty that those statements create destine that party there to opposition for somewhat longer, because that creates uncertainty, that creates premiums, Mr Speaker. But anyway, just briefly, but the point the Speaker made, re-captive insurance, I think that will take up a fair bit of our time on committee, FEC. There's been a fair bit of discussion about that already, and I fully expect a fair few submissions on that one. Mr Speaker, I also acknowledge that a lot of the work around this, the Financial Advisors Bill, the non-bank deposit takers bill and regulations and upgrades and changes, did start under the previous administration, and this is yet another plank to that. And so its history is quite robust, and I think there will be consensus across the House, Mr Speaker, as this one goes through, subject to changes, debate at Select Committee, Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker, just quickly, it is an upgrade and a modernisation, and there's, I guess, if one good thing came out of the systemic financial failure, market failure around the world of financial markets, we weren't quite as badly affected here as many other parts of the globe, but one good thing is actually an examination of current Prudential regulation monitoring and suddenly an awareness of many holes in the system, Mr Speaker, and of course an acknowledgement of the huge asset base and the obligations and the cross-holdings from the various insurance funds across the financial sector can have a major impact on the financial sector and the New Zealand economy, Mr Speaker. And I also note, just looking through the bill before, a lot of the wording does look similar to that was from the Financial Advisors piece that I think the Commerce and then FEC did last year, or the year before, Mr Speaker. So some commonality in there, Mr Speaker. So, Mr Speaker, FEC, as Chair, I'm sure we'll welcome this. We're going to have a busy few months, but I look forward to submissions on this bill, and I think the other Speaker did outline most of the issues that will be raised in it, setting aside the monetary policy stuff. I commend the bill to the House, Mr Speaker.